Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Brath. This is issue number 3. This is by CrossGen Comics. It was $2.95. It doesn't have a date on it, but this is I discovered this comic a little while ago, and I bought all 15 issues, and I read them all in one sitting. And to be honest, I think reading them all in one sitting is probably the best way to go, because it suffers from like a quick read, like I don't know, comics after 2000, you read them pretty quick. But this is by one of my favorite comic book writers, Chuck Dixon, Andrea Di Vito, John Dell, and Rob Swagger. And let's open it up and check it out. Every one of these covers has this like little Gaelic border, so that's a perfectly good splash page. Oh, let's look at the indicia before I go. It's Brath, Volume 1, Issue 3, May 2003. Okay, so, well, let's close it for a second. CrossGen was an interesting comic book company. It was it came and it went really quick. I forget, the Mark Alessio was the owner and publisher, and he was like some multimillionaire. He invented some sort of technical computer thing, and he was a longtime comic book fan, and he fulfilled his childhood dreams of running a comic book company. And he had all of these people moved down to Florida, and like he got like what he imagined the Marvel bullpen to look like. A whole bunch of comic book creators, writers and artists, colorists, all working together, making and I have to say, the CrossGen comics are wonderful. Just wonderful. I haven't read any bad ones yet. The problem is, I was the brokest I've ever been in my life when these comics came out, so I completely missed the boat when it came to CrossGen, and I've been buying back issues of them, and they are wonderful. Okay, I just finished the crossovers. Now I'm reading Brath. But here, look at this. So Brath is this is the world of Han Jin. It's like an alternate Earth, and a bunch of the CrossGen comics take place on there, like Way of the Rat. I think Solus. But I forget exactly, but a bunch of Way of the Rat and whatever and Brath take place there, and it's like Earth but different. So instead of the Roman Empire, you have like the Brythian Empire, and it's basically the same thing. And the Emperor Quintilius wants to conquer Ureland, which is like Ireland or whatever. And we have Brath. Brath originally. It is a funny story. Originally, he was drawn like hairlet, like he had long hair, but he didn't have a hairy chest or anything like that. And Chuck Dixon, when he did the comic, said, cover him with hair. He after all, he's an ancient barbarian Gaul. Otherwise, he'll look like Conan. And he was afraid that people would write him off as a Conan ripoff. So you can see he has like a hairy chest. And Mark Alessio went berserk and started yelling at everybody. And then he went to yell at Chuck Dixon. And Chuck Dixon, he's a pretty big guy. I think he's like 6'4", something like that. And he backed down. But I think it works. He would look like Conan. So this is his wife, Tiena. Teniel, and this is their son, and they're getting ready for a battle with these, Brythians, the pseudo Romans, and this is Drusus. He's in charge of the invasion force to take out Brath, and they just got elephants. And what I like about this is they're showing how difficult it is for the Romans to handle the elephants. Like, you always see the cool movies with the elephants marching and stuff like that, but you never see like how the maintenance and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool. And he's saying how much he hates them. They smell. They're more problem than they're worth. We have to feed them, and the logistics of it all. I think it's pretty cool. And here we have, this is Samath. He's like the mystical druid that aids Brath and then this is like a witch woman, and I forget her name. I'm sorry, I forget it. And this is her like foolish apprentice, and she's mixing up basically poisons for to help out in the army. They're all getting in on it because they know if the Romans invade, it's the end of their lifestyle and stuff like that. And what are the Romans going to have to do with like old women and old men? That they'll be put to the sword. So one of the things that Brath did is he somehow gets visions from the Earth Goddess, and that's how he gets this symbol on his chest. And that marks that he was touched by the goddess. And so of course some people are doubting him, and some people but he's interpreting the dreams and using them to defeat the Romans. So he's like just going off on guerrilla warfare and taking them out. And this is one of the things that he dreamt, is they have slingers, and rather than pick up stones, they're actually smelting lead balls or bullets for the slingers. He's like, yeah, now make 100 scores. So a score is what, 20? So make 100 times 20, 2,000 of these, or maybe more. Maybe a score is what, I don't know. So now, and this is Brath's son, doing what kids do, is playing war, and he's like, Dad, I want to go to war. She's like, you're a little kid. And in this world, Tiana goes, Tania, how I can't pronounce her name, she goes with Brath into battle, but he's having bad dreams about this battle, so he tells her to stay home and take care of the son, and that, she's kind of insulted, but at the same time, his dreams have been pretty accurate, so she's gonna listen to him. And I like these two guys are just talking about bad food. I picked this issue because it's got like a lot of dialogue. The rest of them are kind of like quick to read. And now he's showing how these lead bullets work. They're like, wow, these are pretty accurate. They're making straw elephants. And this guy is from the a rival clan. If you notice, Brath's people all have like dark hair, and these guys have like reddish hair, and they don't trust him. And matter of fact, in the very first issue, Brath killed their leader, and that's the new leader. So he has, there's always like the treacherous rival clan and stuff like that. So here we have Drusus in his military camp, and what do? He's dreaming about his dead twin brother, and his dead twin brother is always like, had I lived, I would have conquered, and too bad you lived, and stuff like that. And he fades away screaming, and the guards have to pretend that they didn't see anything. And now Brath is sleeping. He sees the stag. That this is who gives him all the visions, and then he sees this big hunting dog come out, and the earth goddess, who looks like his wife, comes out, and she removes the symbol on his chest. So that's what scares her, and that's why when he says stay home with our son, she does. So look at, they're all Braveheart out and ready for battle. Just cool. I love the art. The coloring is really, really, the coloring does what I think a comic book coloring should do. It enhances the art without distracting us from the art. That's like a tightrope to walk. Just perfect. I love the glare on the hammer and everything. Just so good. And if you know anything about Chuck Dixon, his bread and butter is like war and manly stuff. So he did a lot of research, even though it's on an alternate Earth. It's like these costumes are pretty accurate. They call them the steel helmets. And here we are. The next issue is the full-on battle. I didn't want to spoil the full-on battle, so here we go. Issue number 4, and here's the credits. Chuck Dixon, writer. And if you see Chuck Dixon on a comic, just get it. Just get it. He's a believe it or not, he's actually the most prolific comic book writer in history. And he started when he was 35 years old, and I think his first comic was like 1983 or something like that. So believe it or not, he always works fast. He takes any assignment. Well, doesn't take any assignment, but he loves the challenge of like bizarre assignments. So he'll take stuff like, oh yeah, I never did anything like that. Let me do it. He does his research. He writes in full scripts rather than like a Marvel method. So artists love working with him, and he works in advance. Like, he will give you a full script 6 months early. So, that's one of the reasons why he's so prolific. Is he always meets his deadlines. He's always quick, and he does his research. I really enjoy his writing. So here we go. This is Brath. I really like it. I just discovered it like recently. I'm talking like a few months ago, and now I'm finally getting around to reading it. I really enjoyed this. I'm really liking the cross-gen stuff. I'm going to be reading Ruse pretty soon. I bought that, but I did a showcase on the crossovers. I loved it, and this I'm really enjoying. The only problem is each issue is kind of quick to read. This ain't like a 70s Marvel comic that takes you 45 minutes to enjoy. This you could read this comic in like 15-20 minutes, which seems to be like the problem with modern comics. And when I say modern comics, I'm going to say from like 2000 till now, so 20 years. Geez, I guess I'm turning into an old complainer. But there you go. This was fun. You could get 2 collected editions of this for all 15 issues. There's also an issue 0 prelude. So I really enjoyed it. It's different. There is supernatural. There are gods. So I guess there is magic and stuff like that. But it's really low. It's really a dash, a pinch. So it's not like high fantasy or anything like that. It's more like Conan, low fantasy. All right. So thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. I hope you like this, and I appreciate that you took time out of your busy day to watch my videos. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.